And in terms of when you look at doing projects in Detroit and sort of building this out, the projects have been designed very much to be jobs and to center around economic opportunity and expanding that and making these neighborhoods and revitalization where people can walk to work, or that they still have easier access, or that, you know, it starts with a family, it starts with a home, it starts with a job. Is that replicatable, do you think, on a much broader scale, even just the lessons that you're taking out of Detroit?
Yeah, I mean, if you travel around the world, and I get this to travel around the world and see all these things, Singapore does it. It's a country. When it formed, it was part of Malaysia. When it formed, it was partially Chinese, partially Malay, partial Indian. They didn't speak each other's languages. A prime minister came in with the same kind of vision and strength to get it done. Its GDP is now higher than the GDP of the average American. Okay, the prime minister is pretty tough. He made them all learn English, so it could become a back office for companies. He made sure the streets were clean. When they have a lot of affordable housing, but he made sure that that you couldn't live like it wasn't an Indian building and a Malay building and a Chinese building. He desegregated not just by building and not just by floor, by apartment. He wanted them to know each other's kids and smell each other's foods and stuff like that. I tell people, had you put some of my liberal Democratic friends responsible for Singapore, it would still be a backwater. Oh, you can't force people to live where they don't want to live. You can't punish people for spitting on the streets. You can't make people learn English. That's what would happen. And so people have to think what works and what doesn't work. And so, same thing with other countries. I just mentioned Germany's vocational schools. And Germany's doing well in Europe, but most of the countries aren't. So you learn these things when you go around the world about what works and what doesn't. And you can write, and there have been books written about it, Venezuela, Ecuador, Argentina, Cuba, North Korea. What did they do? And largely populism. And, the ones that worked. And South Korea, no natural resources. Unbelievable story. Singapore, no natural resources. Unbelievable story. So, I can go on and on and on about what works and what doesn't. And, for some reason, I don't learn these lessons. I worry about bad public policy just causing constant damage out there. And, when in America, you keep on hearing, productivity is low, it's secular stagnation, it's a new normal. It's just not true. Okay, we've had multiple wars. Okay, we're not educating our kids. We had government shutdowns, badly spent money, failures in the health system, failures in extreme amount of regulation. That's why we're growing slow. It's not the economic model. And I just find with people they're just looking for simple answers, and sometimes there aren't. So all these things are fixable.